Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be showing you some DIY ornaments I made. I did 12 ornaments, and you can do as many as you want, but these are the supplies that I'm showing you right now. I used plastic ornaments for these ones, and you will also need some markers. I used some Recollections markers. Pretty much it's just a silver, a gold, and then a different color gold that I used from these. I also used a Sharpie marker as well for some of the black outlines. And then there's also some Crayola markers as well that I used. And I really only use the brown and the red from the Crayola markers. The next item you will need is some fake snowflakes. I bought too big of a bag. You can buy a smaller bag if you want. The next thing you also need is some festive twine. I used this just to make the little loops for the ornaments to hang it on the tree. You can use pretty much whatever you want so long as it's able to be hung onto the tree. Next I got some festive pom-poms. I used 2 bags of these, and I used up pretty much all of them in my ornaments. Next you will need some decorative ribbon. This one didn't work out too well. You might need a hot glue gun to use it, so you can either skip this one and do a different ornament or not. I also used a lot of cotton balls. Yeah, I used quite a few. Next you will also need some paper. I used this paper to pretty much make a cone shape so I could pour the snowflakes into it. You could also use just some sort of siphon as well. Next is some Scotch tape. I used this to tape the paper so that I could siphon the snowflakes into it and into the ornaments. And then you also need some scissors. You can use scissors for the decorative ribbon and to cut the paper if you want it to be a smaller cone shape. And then I also used a glue gun. You want to use a low temperature glue gun, that way it doesn't melt the plastic. I just got this at the dollar store. And then also a bottle of glue. I used this for the cotton balls, that way it wouldn't be too hot on the cotton balls, and it worked really well for them as well, so you don't need hot glue gun for that. And then I also just used a fine paintbrush to brush some of the glue on. And I believe that is everything you will need. So for the first ornament that I'm doing a snowman ornament. So what you do is you just stuff some cotton balls into the ornament, and then you twist the thing back into it, the cover on it I guess. And then what I did is I took a Sharpie to it and I made the snowman's eyes and hat with the Sharpie. I also made the smile with it as well. For the nose I used the Recollections marker to make it. I didn't really have an orange marker for the carrot nose, but the Recollections marker worked out well enough for me. And then just use your twine and scissors to cut it and make a little knot. That's the snowman. So the second ornament that I end up doing is the Jingle Bells ornament. For this one, if you can actually find some little bells or something to put into it, I'd recommend that. I couldn't find any at the dollar store or Michael's when I went to look, so I just ended up using just pom-poms, and I thought it looked cute enough, and I wrote Jingle Bells on the ornament. Next up is the Santa ornament. For the Santa ornament, what I ended up doing is I just took all of the little red balls so that it would look like his suit almost. I drew a couple little eyes for it. Also with the marker you might need to redraw over it to make sure it's completely black. And then I glue some cotton balls onto the ornament and made it look like a beard. I also twisted one up so it looked like a mustache. And then I also twisted one and put it around the outside of the clasp into the ornament, just so it almost looks like his hat. And then I also twisted some more cotton balls to frame his beard as well. And that's pretty much it for that one. I wish I would have done red for his nose instead though, so he had a red nose. So I recommend doing that if you're going to do the Santa ornament. So the next ornament is the festive ribbon ornament. This one really didn't turn out well. If I were to redo it, I would use hot glue instead of white glue is what I used. But pretty much what I did is I filled it with the fake snow, and then I went and glued the festive ribbon all around it. You could pretty much take any festive ribbon you would want and glue it to the ornament, but just know if you're using felt like I did, I recommend doing the hot glue instead of white glue. I just did not have enough hot glue to do this one, as well as a different one I ended up doing in the future. So that's what happened with that one. Next we have Joy, and I filled it up with some of my remaining white and green, and then I just wrote in silver the words Joy on it. I thought this one was cute and nice. And then just make sure you tie your twine on it as well. The next ornament is the Let It Snow ornament. Start off by filling it with the fake snow, and then once that's all filled up, I started writing on it, just let it snow with the gold. I wish I didn't use the yellow gold for this one because it looks more yellow on camera than it does in person. So yeah, that ended up turning out a little bit bad, but it's okay. So next is the Season's Greetings ornament that I'm doing, and what I did with this one is I started filling it with fake snow again, and I ended up spilling too much because I ended up cutting the bag too big at this point, so I spilled snow just everywhere on the paper, so I just brushed it off my desk and put it into the ornament. But I just wrote Season's Greetings on this one in silver. It's a little bit difficult to see, but I just did it in cursive, and then tied the twine onto that one as well. Also, if you want to do, you could also do like different color of twine as well. I think that would be really cool if you did, changed it up a little bit, did half of them with a certain one and half of them with a different one. So the next ornament is Rudolph. This one I filled with cotton balls just so it wouldn't be empty on the inside. I do wish I had like thicker markers, because I do have just like the fine tip Crayola markers, so Rudolph didn't come out as well as I wanted. He also isn't super in frame. I'm not used to drawing on ornaments, so I'm sorry that it's not really in frame, but you see the finished design at the end anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much all I would change, is use thicker markers for this, because it'll be easier to lay your color down and it'll look nicer. But yeah, I just drew little Rudolph on there with his red nose and his antlers, and that's all I did for that one. Next up we have sort of like a Christmas tree one. Obviously it's not going to look totally like a Christmas tree since it's not shaped like a Christmas tree, but I just filled this with like the little green pom-poms, and then I stuck red and white pom-poms all around the edges of it with the hot glue gun to make it almost look like lights or ornaments on the tree. I really like how this one turned out. Definitely suggest using hot glue for it, just since it sticks way easier and none of them have fallen off so far for me. And the next ornament we have up is the love ornament that I made. So for the love ornament, all I did was fill it with pom-poms again, since I had extra ones. I tried to mostly do white and red since I used a lot of green on the last one, and I just wrote love in the gold in cursive, and then also just tying that twine on. The next ornament I think is my favorite ornament. It is the penguin one. So I filled up the cotton balls with white so it looks like the white on his tummy, and then I just did a little outline shape for the penguin and two little eyes on it, gave him a gold nose, or I guess beak, and then little gold feet, and then I just outlined the majority of his body shape in black, and I went over some spaces a little extra just to make sure that it looked black and not like gray. And then I also took Recollections marker in white to sort of show his arms a little more so that you could see them. And there he is. And then my last ornament is just a Christmas 2018 ornament. I filled it up with the rest of my pom-poms and then just wrote in cursive, or no, not cursive, just regular writing, Christmas 2018, because I wanted one of these ornaments just to mark what year I did these. And yeah, that's all I have for this week's video. I hope you guys liked it and enjoyed it. This is definitely one of my first tutorials, so hopefully it's not too bad. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment your favorite ornament I did. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's video. Bye!